Happy Thursday to you all. I thought I'd give you a quick Florence update. So this is the visible satellite image. You can see a very impressive looking storm. Florence is a very large hurricane. You can see its northernmost extent, southernmost extent. It's basically the size of both North and South Carolina together. The clouds, if you've been outside today in Charlotte, those clouds, those outer cloud bands from the storm are rolling through from east to west. They're moving pretty quickly, so if you look up, you can see how fast they're moving. Winds have also increased around our area. They're now around 10 to 15 miles per hour, so it's kind of breezy outside if you've been out there. And you can see the core right here. So there's the center. So here's where it was this morning, about right here. And there's where it is right now. So you can see it's steadily moving to the west, but it's slowing down. Yesterday it was moving at like 17 miles an hour, then 10 miles an hour, and now it's even less than that. And it's just going to slowly work its way towards the coast. Florence is a very large hurricane. So what it's able to do is take these winds here and pull water all the way around and slam tons of oceanic water along the coast. There's going to be tremendous surge, lots of coastal flooding, and rain is already spreading, overspreading the eastern corner of our state, and that's just going to slowly propagate westward as the day goes on. So that's where its current location is. In terms of the radar, now we can actually pick it up on radar, and you can see the center is right there. There's the eye, you can see it there. And the outermost bands have moved into the outer banks and the easternmost counties of the state. It's not going to rain today in Charlotte, so we're about right here. But you do see some rain bands associated with Florence all the way up into Virginia, kind of coming down the I-95 corridor. As the center moves westward, these bands will move westward as well. And that's what our weather will be like tomorrow. So this will kind of be our weather tomorrow. We'll just have some bands moving through, especially later in the day, some showers, and the wind will start to increase. Tomorrow will be breezy day, 15, 20 mile per hour winds is what it's looking like. So I thought I'd show you a couple pieces of track guidance. So here's the current position of Florence. And you can see if I step this through time, it's going to slowly work its way towards the coast and kind of interact with the coast right around here. Now, this isn't until tomorrow morning at around 8 a.m. So you saw its current positions. It's going to take it almost a full day more before it reaches the coast. But here are the wind fields. So these light blue colors we see in Charlotte, these are winds sustained at about 15 miles an hour in the morning. So you'll notice it's pretty breezy tomorrow for sure. And then this particular computer has it making landfall kind of right in the Wilmington area. Again, the flow around this is counterclockwise. So this side of the storm, the ocean water will be flooding inland on this side. So this is where a lot of the storm surge and a lot of the coastal damage will be on that right side of the storm. Wind speeds inland will be really, really high. So areas to the northwest and north of the storm here, these are winds of 50, 60, 70 miles an hour in this particular region. Again, for us though, tomorrow it'll be a breezy day for sure, but it's not going to be super, super windy. But this particular model has the storm slowly propagating towards the west and towards the north, and eventually having the core become very close to Charlotte actually, as a tropical storm, and then eventually just a tropical depression as it weakens. So don't expect hurricane force winds or anything like that here. But I do think, given these latest model tracks, I think wind will be more of a concern than what we thought it was going to be in the last couple of days. These sustained winds are at least 25 miles per hour, gusts at least 40 miles an hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of these eastern counties here added to the tropical storm watches, because I could see their winds easily being 40 to 50 miles an hour. We will see strong gusts though in Charlotte. So if our winds are sustained at 25 miles an hour, gusts will easily be 40 to 50 miles an hour. So that will be enough to knock down some, at least tree limbs and some trees, especially if we're getting a lot of rainfall. That's what it's looking like. So it's still going to be right with us. This is Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Then this is Sunday afternoon, and then eventually by Sunday night, it will start moving up into Kentucky, and we'll still have some effect from it. But by then, the wind will have calmed down, and we'll just be left with some rain around the area. The track is pretty consistent between most of the models. So there's its current position. In another day and a half to 2 days, it's going to be right kind of on the easternmost part of South Carolina, kind of near Myrtle Beach. Then it looks like it's going to move almost due west, south of Charlotte. And again, that's the worst place to be, is on the north side of the storm. Because imagine when the storm is, back this up, when the storm is about right here, it's basically pulling ocean water, this moist oceanic air, and bringing it around. And this is where most of the rain shield will be on the north side. So most of the heaviest rain, if this model verifies, would be in North Carolina, and the rainfall totals could be very excessive. This shows you another computer's rendition of it. It shows it moving towards the coast and then kind of moving through southern and central South Carolina, the majority of them. Again, this puts Charlotte on the north side of the system. So the first impact is going to be huge along the coast. It's going to be at least a day and a half to 2 days of massive coastal storm surge and flooding and excessive rainfall in this area. Some of these places around Wilmington and inland, right inland here, could easily see over 30 inches of rain. So put it in perspective, Charlotte only sees around 45 inches of rain in the entire year. So they would see almost a year's worth of rain in like 2 days. So you can imagine the flooding that would produce. I thought I'd show you one of our high-resolution models. This is kind of a cool model to look at. It's a little disorienting when you watch it, though. So it's just basically going to follow the hurricane. So the map is going to move, but the hurricane's going to stay stationary to show you where it is. So here's the coast of North Carolina over there. And if I step this forward through time, you can watch it approach the coast, right? So here's the North Carolina, South Carolina border. Here's like the Wilmington area. You can see this particular model has it making landfall right along the coastline here. And this is, again, tomorrow morning around 8 a.m., moving inland, and then kind of moving, and there's the North Carolina, South Carolina border. You can see where it's projecting heavy rain. So Charlotte's over here. So notice it's showing us with some of these light rain bands here, like we're seeing today up along I-95. So we will certainly see some showers tomorrow, but tomorrow's not going to be too bad of a day. Notice how tight these lines get. These are lines of pressure. The closer they get together, the faster the wind is. So that's why they're so tightly packed here around the center. So the winds where the center are super, super fast. The winds where we are will start picking up tomorrow afternoon, and you can see this is Friday evening into Saturday, and during the overnight Friday into Saturday morning is when the rain really starts to pick up here. And then if I keep moving this through time, it shows the core here, kind of in central South Carolina. Again, Charlotte is right about here, so this is very heavy rainfall on the northern side. Notice the southern side, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't have a lot of precip. Most of this rain, because again, it's taking water from the ocean here and bringing it around. So most of the heaviest rain is on the northern side of the storm. So if I step this forward some more, again, right here is Charlotte. It's hard to see with all the graphics, but it shows the core of the hurricane kind of near just southeast of Columbia, and very heavy rain over Charlotte. This is Saturday afternoon. This is Saturday evening right here into Sunday morning. You see very heavy rain bands wrapping around the storm, and it continues this excessive rain for us Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday looks like a very wet day as well. And then finally, here's Charlotte here. So by maybe 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon on Sunday, the rain will start calming down and things will start getting a little bit better around here. And that is going to be the big deal, is the rainfall around Charlotte. This shows you a map of the Hurricane Center's official forecast. You can see it has it making landfall kind of right where that last model showed, then drifting kind of near Columbia, and then kind of moving to our south and west. This puts Charlotte, again, on the north side, close to the center of the system. So I think on Friday evening into Saturday, as the system is moving to our south, winds could easily be 35, 40, 45 miles an hour in Charlotte, at least the gusts, which will be enough, especially if it's raining really heavily, to knock some trees down, certainly some big branches and stuff like that down for sure. The big story for us, though, is going to be the excessive rainfall. This is the latest official forecast from this morning from the Weather Prediction Center. And they're predicting these purple areas 20 plus inches of rain. So from basically about Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, and Morehead City, all along the eastern Carolina coast, well over 20 inches. That's going to be catastrophic levels of flooding. Coupled with the storm surge, there's going to be so much water on the coast here. That's going to be the first really, really bad story. Then the second is, as it moves inland like this, notice the northern side here are these oranges and reds. The reds are 10 to 15 inches of rain. So that's from the eastern parts of like the Charlotte area eastward towards the coast. But the whole Charlotte metro area is at least in the 6 to 10 inch rainfall range. Now again, if the storm takes a little bit farther trek southward, we would not see as much precipitation. But as it stands right now, looking at the model guidance that you just saw, it looks likely that the storm's just going to cut across South Carolina somewhere in here and put us in the very heavy rain bands. Where the exact banding sets up really does dictate who gets the really, really heavy rain. Well, everyone is going to see rain from this. We might only see 2 or 4 inches of rain if we take some more southern track. But the potential, just so you know, the potential is to get 10 plus inches of rain over the weekend here in Charlotte, which would cause widespread flooding across our area. So be prepared for that. It's very, very important. And then again, I think our wind threat has also increased. If the track stays just to our south, it'll put us in the tightest pressure difference or pressure gradient, which will give us the biggest wind speeds. So this shows you the probability of seeing sustained winds of at least 39 miles per hour. And Charlotte is right here, so that's 70 to 80% chance now. So I wouldn't be surprised if this afternoon the Weather Service puts flood watches up for our area and some high wind watches or maybe some tropical storm watches up for some of our counties right near Charlotte or to our east. I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out. So bottom line, tomorrow will be a showery day. Winds will start picking up, be breezy in the afternoon. The more steady rain will occur over the night Friday into Saturday morning. Saturday during the day, Saturday night, Sunday during the day look like the wettest 48-hour period. So both weekend days. And again, we could see as little as 2 to 5 to 6 inches of rain or as much as 10 to 12 inches of rain depending on where this thing tracks. Places in the eastern part of the state and the southeastern part of the state are slated to get at least 20 to 30 inches of rain. So this is going to be a significant event for the entire state. Wind is a big deal. Flooding is an even bigger deal. So stay safe, be prepared, and I'll try to give you another update whenever we see exactly where it's going to move on shore and exactly the track it's going to take. So anyway, be prepared. I'll see you all later.